right. So welcome back to another episode of Say Word with Shantavia Nia, and I have a guest today. Please state your name and where you're from.
My name is Lyfestile. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, United States,
Oh,
planet Earth.
all right, we got the Midwest in the house today. So when I
That's right.
the people who that I'm interviewing with regarding hip hop, I like to start off with a few questions regarding hip hop. So question number one, do you remember the first time you fell in love with hip hop?
Uh, yeah, I think so. I think so. Um, it was a combination of things. Um, some early stuff I heard on the radio, and I didn't really know what it was. I just knew that I liked it. And, it was stuff like Africa Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force, Planet Rock, um, Grandmaster Flash, Furious Five, The Message, World Famous Supreme Team, Hey DJ, stuff like that. And when the B-boys were breakdancing and stuff like that on TV, when I first saw that kind of stuff in the movies, Beat Street, Breaking, Wild Style, all that kind of stuff around that time. So back in the 80s, so yeah, I definitely remember those times.
All right, cool. And also question number two, who is your top five dead or alive?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't
Always
know that I
down.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
People always say it's hard to pin it down to five.
It is my top five is, if I have a top five, which I don't really think that I do, but I could make a million lists. So I'm gonna name five, but just keep in mind that it's constantly changing. It's constantly changing. Uh Man, that's tough. I would say like Chuck D from Public Enemy, Nas, Ice Cube. Um, it's tough. Black Thought. Um, I got what, one left, two left?
One.
I don't know. MF Doom. And
Oh,
that's one list of five, and I could do lists of five for the rest of this interview. So those are just some great ones to me personally.
all right. Thank you. And in light of the recent tragedy with De La Soul,
Mm,
De La Soul song, which one is it and why?
um, De La Soul is one of my favorite groups of all time. As a matter of fact, if I was to make another list, Pasta Noose and Dave would be another two, of five. Um, I love so many De La Soul songs. I would say one that sticks out to me that I've been playing a lot since getting that bad news is I Am I Be, which is from their Balloon Mind State album, which is the third De La album. And why? Because it's like an autobiographical. They kind of give you slices of their personal lives, and I just kind of like the overall mood of the song. It's kind of like a somber song, and I like it from a production standpoint. And I mean, De La is they're just a great group. I was really messed up over Dave, and I hope they keep making music, but I'm just glad that people are able to stream their music now. Younger people can get turned on because they're De La Soul. I could talk forever about De La Soul.
My favorite song by them is The Stakes is High.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
Okay.
Love that.
Now, moving on to questions regarding you. So, when did you personally start recording music?
Whew. I started recording around 2001. I was in a group called Altered States of Consciousness, and we were on an independent label out of Brooklyn, New York, called Sundew Recordings, and we recorded. We were doing like vinyl, so we did like a 12-inch with them. Before then, I guess technically, like in '98, '99, we had recorded stuff. Like we had tapes and CDs that we were selling here in St. Louis. But as far as just putting something out that could be available on a larger scale, we started doing vinyl around 2001,
Mm.
a long time ago.
Be thinking that too. I'm like, it feel like yesterday though, I swear.
Right, right.
And how has your music changed through the years?
Um, it's changed in a lot of ways. I think hopefully, as time goes on, as we gain more experience, we're able to cover a wider array of topics. Hopefully we get smarter, hopefully funnier, more interesting, more entertaining, so I think that I think with anybody that does art, especially if it's about writing or performing, hopefully you can learn over time to just add little ingredients like here and there, and to attack things from different angles. I think it's a little bit more mature than it used to be. I think I tend to think things out a little more before I put them down. But you know, I think it's a little bit more cerebral, a little bit more mature, if I had to say.
Okay, thank you. And I would like to know, what are your personal thoughts on sticking to the theme of transformation, of the transformation of hip hop over the years in general? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, so many thoughts. I mean, hip hop has gone through a lot. You know, I think if we look at hip hop in the context of other Black music or just music in general, I think that all forms kind of go through changes as, generations get older and newer people come in. So I think on the creative front, it's expanded so much that you have so many different styles. You know, you got stuff that's still, despite what some people think, there's still stuff out there that's really lyrical, really creative from a production standpoint. And then you have things that are not really about lyrics, more about a vibe or whatever, which I personally think is fine. Even if I don't like all of it, I think it's cool that it exists. I would say the only thing that I don't like is another thing that happens with every form is that because it's so commercial now, it's the number one form of music. You have a lot of people in the industry, so to speak, making decisions that don't really care about the art, and they kind of decide what we hear. So there's a lot of stuff that I personally don't like that kind of gets pushed to the front. And it's not that it shouldn't exist, it's just that you got, basically other people trying to monetize our culture in ways that's not always beneficial to us. I'll say that.
I agree. That's why I'm still a huge fan of like underground music.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, for sure.
Oh, okay. So thank you for your input on that. I checked out your music. I didn't have time to check out everything, but what I
Okay.
through like your current stuff that's up on iTunes, and
Okay.
briefly touch on the ones that stuck out to me, and I got some questions about them. So
Okay.
that I like Up Late Again, Let It Be, Who Am I, What's Good, and No Time Wasted. So regarding What's Good, I thought I felt like that song was really, it was political, but not like in your face,
Mhm.
because the opening line, I loved it, about the bum, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it has a dope beat. Who produced that song?
Oh, that's my man, Kenautis Smith, from Chicago. He did that whole album.
Oh, he did
Yeah,
a
we
oh, okay.
yeah. He did everything you just named. He did all of those. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So I guess I like him as a producer because I picked out all the songs he did.
that's
Um,
awesome.
and what inspired you to write the song um Let It Be? First of all, I love the sample on that too.
Oh,
Sample was dope.
that's oh, thank you. Actually, that song, I was at Kenautis's house and he was playing that record, which is I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal the sample, but he was playing that song, which is it's Let It Be by the Beatles, but it was the Aretha Franklin version of the record.
Oh,
And he was playing that and he was working on the beat and we were done. Like that project was pretty much done. But when I heard that, I was like, let me get that. Let me get that one. Come on, let's do one more. Can we do one more? Please. And it's like, really the music kind of did a lot because it's kind of a take on, again, the Beatles and something that's basically been done before, but my take on it was more like, um, sometimes you just gotta leave stuff alone. Or just the idea of, you got that friend that you knew back in the day that you don't see as much, but then when you see them, they always just want to bring up just old stuff, and you're not necessarily that person anymore, and musically, my man Ya Supreme, who's from Brooklyn, who's my friend for years, and we used to be on Sundu recordings together. I just felt like it was perfect for him. I thought his voice would sound dope on it, so I hit him up and he jumped on it, and I like that song a lot too. Thank you for checking that out.
yeah, no problem. I like to be prepared so I can have stuff to talk about. I don't like to be winging it.
That's
Um,
great.
all right, so next question. Have you made any music lately? Is there anything you
Yeah.
work on currently?
Yeah, actually Kanadas and I, we just finished up a project. Like he just texted me a couple of days ago. Like we're pretty much finalizing a project that we just finished. We literally just took pictures for the artwork like last weekend,
Mhm.
and we're about to start shooting some videos. So yeah, Kenautis Smith and Lyfestile have a new project coming out. I just got on this. Well, there's a compilation that just came out from this guy in Eastern Europe named Dre Yard, who just did a compilation called Dre Yard in the Land of the Superpower MCs, and that's on Bandcamp. I'm on that with some friends of mine, and I'm always working on stuff. So, but yeah, me and Kenautis, we have a new joint coming out probably in the next 30 days or so.
Dope. I'll definitely check it out. Send me a link.
Will do. Oh, I definitely will do that. I appreciate you.
Okay, so as you know, hip hop is celebrating its 50th anniversary. How are you celebrating it?
Yo, I've been seeing this flyer online for this party, or it's a big show in Atlantic City. And I used to be in Atlantic City back. I got some friends in Atlantic City, so I'm kind of thinking about doing that. But there's some things happening locally. I know I just heard about there is an exhibit at the History Museum here in St. Louis at Forest Park. They're doing some kind of program. I'm going to participate in that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm going to be a part of that some kind of way, you know. Um, and I'm just keeping my ears and eyes open for that. And really, for the 50th year, what I've really been trying to do is just be a little bit more outspoken, even on social media, as far as talking about a lot of the history and just various topics that are attached to the culture. So I would say that even this is part of that. Like this interview is part of that because I think, for those of us that have been around for a minute, I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can discuss this and have healthy discussions, that are inclusive of people of whatever generation you're a part of. We can have these discussions and have it be productive. So thank you. You're helping me on that front.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I personally I always had a space in my heart for hip hop, being a New Yorker and being an '80s babies. And since I have a background in communications, I felt like I have to document this, you know, and it's
Oh
giving
yeah,
me an avenue to relaunch like my YouTube career again with some going a different route. And I felt like this would be perfect. And
dope.
would be up for, like you said, different generations could see it if they search it. And I'm gonna leave it up forever. So this would be a part of history.
For sure. Yeah, that's dope. And it's dope that you're prepared. Let me say this, so much of so-called hip hop media is terrible. It's awful. And it's folks who should know better, but they don't make the effort. They don't do the research, because they don't feel like they have to, and they're not prepared. So the fact that you're handling this in the way that you are, I can't say enough about that because there's a lot of bad hip hop media out there. A lot.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's kind of what motivated me to do this because I have confidence in myself. I said, wait a minute, I may not have a huge following like these people,
Not
but
yet. Not
I
yet.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is the nascent stage, but
Right.
I love talking with people. I love researching, getting facts and having dialogue. So I feel like it took me a while, but I'm finally here. So I'm looking forward to this growing. And thank you.
Good,
I
good.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh no, this is great. Something like this that's fun. And again, the fact that you're prepared, that means a lot. Cause I mean, there are a lot of people in so-called hip hop spaces, and you can kind of tell they don't really care about what they're doing, So when you see somebody that really does care, and that's like a breath of fresh air. So that's awesome.
Thank you. Once again, I appreciate that.
No
Uh,
doubt.
but I'm going to circle back briefly to when you said that you just finished doing photos and stuff for your new project. Do you have a drop date yet or nah?
I'm not sure about that because we just got it mastered and we still kind of want to listen to it first. So I don't have an exact date, but what's today? Today is what, the 6th? I
Mm-hmm.
would say probably, wow, it's already April. Oh my goodness. I
The years
don't have an
go by
exact
so
date.
fast, right?
Oh God. Yeah. I would say probably sometime next month, but I'll announce it once I have an idea. I'm gonna put it out there on all my social media and all that kind of stuff. But it's
Okay,
soon,
Mayish, Mayish.
May-ish. I like to rush. I'm like, as soon as the music is done, I'm ready to throw it out there. But Kenautis is really good about staying on schedule and having a proper rollout and promotion and stuff like that. I'm like, man, sometimes I'll do a song and I want to send it to everybody I know, So he's really good about that. So yeah, it'll be May-ish, early May probably.
All right. And you spoke about this a little bit when I was asking you about how will you be celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip hop for the rest of the year. But is there anything culturally happening in your city that's being put on, or is anybody doing anything, or have you seen anything? Like just in case anyone's watching and they live where you live.
There's an event at the History Museum that's coming up. I don't even think it's been promoted yet. Somebody just told me about it today. There's an event called Elemental that's like a monthly celebration of hip hop, and that just started this year. So there's a venue in St. Louis called Sophie's Artist Lounge, and there's some good people who do um, a celebration there once a month. So I think coming up around the 22nd of this month, I believe they'll be doing something, and there's going to be like a block party as well around Sophie's in Midtown St. Louis. So I'll be there participating in some form of fashion with a lot of the prominent DJs, MCs, graffiti writers, b-boys, b-girls, all of that. So there'll be some things coming up.
Cool. And all right, so we made it to the end.
All
And
right.
I like to end with asking the guest, For this era of your life right now, could you give me a hip hop quotable from a song that matches this era of your life right now?
Oh my God.
You
That's
can take your time and think about it. It's all good.
that's the hardest question. That's like everything was going so smoothly. Everything was going so well. Now I gotta think. Oh man. Oh
It
man.
don't have to be
Uh,
deep. It could just be, whatever you want. It's just for, this is a tradition I'm starting. So it don't have to be deep. It could be as deep as you want. It could be surface. It don't matter.
well, I'm gonna keep it conscious since we talked about De La Soul. A skin not considered equal. A meteor has more right than my people. Because no matter what, we got to keep in mind that we still in a long fight, you know, to get ourselves where we need to be. So, since we talked about De La and you talked about stakes is high, you
Mhm.
know, that kind of put that on my brain. And that's something that hip hop did for me as far as my consciousness. It kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I think that that's something that I try to do with my music, along with having fun and stuff like that, but always kind of staying abreast of, current issues and having love for our people and trying to ensure that we have freedom, justice, and equality. So that turned out better than I thought. I had to think about it for a minute, but yeah,
See?
I'm gonna use the De La quote. Wow, that was tricky though. I wasn't ready for that.
But you handle it well.
Thank you.
Thank you for answering. And once again, thank you for joining me this evening. I appreciate you. And I can't wait to share it. When
Awesome.
everything is up, I'll share the links with you. And
Okay.
um, everyone else, thank you for tuning in. Let me know in the comment sections what you think. And until next time, take care, be well, everybody. Peace, be well. And thank you, Lifestyle. Appreciate you. Take care of yourself.
No doubt. Thank you, Queen. Peace.
You're welcome. Peace.
All right.